For my project, I'm going to be talking about the temples of ancient civilizations. Within this presentation, I'd like to take a little bit of a closer look at the many different temples throughout the ancient civilizations included in what we have learned about in this class. I want to share what I've learned about each of the temples and compare them based off of structure, how they were built, and other different things in the PowerPoint. All of this relates to the course, as all the temples are part of periods included within what we've learned for the class. First is the Luxor Temple in Egypt. It was constructed over many years, and the construction was carried on by at least 3 separate pharaohs, making it one of the most significant temples in Egypt. The craftsmanship was done with stone, and the huge statues were created from sandstone. Featured in the temple was a grand colonnade hall that was 61 meters long, and also all of the columns were at least 28 feet tall and intricately decorated. This was ordered by Pharaoh Tutankhamun, and this also houses a life-size statue of Ramesses II's wife, Queen Nefertari, and the temple blends very well with its desert surroundings and is an intricate piece of architectural art. In Greece, the Parthenon is one of the most famous temples, also one of the most famous temples in the world. It was built upon the Acropolis between 447 to 432 BC. It was created from pentelic marble and limestone as its foundation. The structure featured 46 outer columns and 23 inner columns, and the 4 of the outer columns were slightly bigger than the rest, containing 20 flutes to its column. The temple had a large triangular roof that spanned the entire building, and the inside and outside were decorated with lots of murals and statues. Most importantly was the statue of Athena on the inside, for which the Parthenon was built. And to this day, the temple still remains one of the finest pieces of Greek architecture and still remains atop the destroyed Acropolis. Next is the Aztec temple, the Templo Mayor. This temple actually consists of 2 different buildings. It was used for many religious purposes, one of the most significant being sacrifices, usually human sacrifices. It was the most famous temple of its time, and it featured 2 staircases leading up to 2 separate temples. It stood about 90 feet high and represented the rain god and the god of war. It was built in 1325, made of stucco and plaster, and painted to represent and worship the gods. All around the building were very ornate structures added to give the temple a little bit of decoration, and there were 7 layers to the temple, largest layer on the bottom building up to the smallest layer on the top, and lots of the Aztecs' religious activities were done in this temple, and it was reflected through their design. Next is the Byzantine Empire. The Temple of the Hagia Sophia, which is actually a mosque now, is a big piece of architectural art. One of the most relevant and famous structures of the Byzantine Empire. It was ornately designed and took skilled craftsmanship to create this work. The Hagia Sophia begins with a large base and gradually gets bigger. It consists of a central dome at the very top and 4 surrounding towers. Created in the 6th century, it was commissioned by Emperor Justinian I. The ornate mosaics, fresco decor, vaults, and even gold coffered ceilings were all a part of this design. The builders used a variety of materials, including stone, mortar, brick, and limestone and marble on the outside. Truly, the Hagia Sophia is the essence of Byzantine style of architecture and still remains to this day. Next is the Homon period of Japan. This is the Horyuji Temple of the Flourishing Law. It was a Buddhist temple that was founded during the Homon period of Japan and was created in 607 by Prince Shotoku. The temple has many precincts and is separated by two main precincts, the western and the eastern. Some of the oldest surviving wooden structures in the western precinct are housed in the temple. The eastern side houses a life-size statue of Prince Shotoku. The temple itself was created from a 1,000-year-old Japanese cypress, which is the world's oldest surviving wooden building. In the temple are statues of Buddha, carvings, and paintings that are some of the oldest. And even though there's been so much time since it was created, it still stands tall and remains firm and is a huge pillar within the Buddhist community.